Now, we're coming to an end of this wonderful conference. But before we move to the 7th floor to have some drinks and a reception, there is something quite special happening today in this place, because we have our inaugural chair of the MBA Advisory Board, Professor Peter Hansford, handing over the baton, or passing the baton, to our new chair, Sue Kershaw. And I just wanted to say a few words about Peter, and Peter will close the conference with some reflections. We started talking about this MBA, this executive program at the Bartlett back in 2018, 2019. And Peter was sort of this outside view of the department, right? So he was already an emeritus, an honorary or emeritus professor at that time, but helping out as much as possible. And at that time, we had, so this was before the pandemic, obviously, and we had 5 full professors, if you like, so very senior. One of them is here with us, Andy Davis, back there, and they suddenly decided to leave UCL by different reasons. Some of them decided, others not so much, but life happened. Anyway, so essentially we lost 5 very senior names, and pandemic hit. So we had an option there. Someone needs to carry on and potentially deliver this MSc at the time, and we made it an MBA. And Peter was instrumental in that journey of saying, yes, we should push back because this is the right thing to do. It is risky. We will have a war to get this MBA done, but I'm with you. Let's fight for this. So there is a lot here on how do we get our sponsorship and the mentors with you, supporting you through that journey. And of course, we also had Professor Damaris Kaufman at the time, and the advisory board that was formed to support and develop the program with us, right? So we debated a lot of these relationships and so on. And I just wanted to say how important Peter was in that journey, personally to me, as a mentor, but hugely influential across the political spectrum of UCL to navigate all of this journey to get this MBA done. And I don't think it would be possible without you, Peter. And please come aboard, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Giuliano. It's a real honor to be given this opportunity to close this conference, and I'm delighted that we've had it today. It's been a really long journey. I used to think infrastructure projects took a really long gestation period. I now know that getting an academic program off the ground takes a similar sort of length of time, and we've learned a lot of things along the way. I was asked a question earlier about inspirational leadership, visionary leadership. This project would not have happened, this program would not have happened without Giuliano. So he's thanking me, but I'd like you all to thank him for this fantastic work in bringing this amazing MBA together. We started off by saying, back in about 2018, 2019, I can't even remember when it was, but it's a long time ago, where are future infrastructure leaders going to come from? And where are they going to be? Who's going to develop them? And that was really where this executive program, the seeds of this executive program was sown. And we recognized that projects were becoming more complex. And so the things that leaders of major infrastructure programs would need to do and would need to understand were much more complicated than perhaps where our traditional project managers had come from. So there was need for something different. There was a thought, and in fact, the department was pushing us along the lines of this should be an MSc. But we decided, no, that's not what we want. We want something different. We want something, and the MBA was, or the idea of an MBA was born. But that was just the start, really, because Giuliano and Damaris and others had to push this really, really hard through the university authorities against a fair amount of resistance. And we now have the program that you see today. We realized we needed an advisory board. We needed people who are grounded, people that have done this stuff, people that have been out there in industry that could help us produce the course that industry wanted, not a course that academics wanted, but a course that industry wanted. And so we pulled together an advisory board, people who were leading major projects, major infrastructure projects, people from contracting, from consulting, from government departments that could really guide us into creating a program that is what industry wanted. And that's in fact what we've got. So I'm delighted. I've made a few notes here, but I'm not using them very much. There was also a need for extensive consultation. So there was consultation with academics, with industrial markets in the UK, across other continents as well. And there were numerous interviews that were carried out, mainly by Giuliano, but by other colleagues as well, in creating the sort of basically the ingredients that we wanted for this program. And our advisory board members have led the development of the modules and case studies, and in some cases they're still involved in delivering those modules today. So in short, what we've ended up with is an MBA developed with industry for industry. And you are the first two cohorts. First cohort started, as you know, October 2023. Second cohort a year later. And we've got both sections here, both cohorts here today. So I'm very proud of what we've created, and I've been honoured to chair the inaugural advisory board that's brought us to this point. But it's now time for me to bow out. Everything comes to an end, and I'm really pleased that Sue has picked up the baton, and she's been appointed to take the board forward from here. And I'm going to be watching developments with great interest. Today's been really, really rewarding. I'd like to give a few thanks. Thank all the keynote speakers. Some are still in this room. Thank all the panelists for their input and their insights. And thank you all for attending and contributing. And I'm confident that the leadership of our future major infrastructure programs and projects are in good hands. And I wish you all every success. Thank you very much.